Good, Dan. You busy down there?
Yes, of course. How about you?
Yeah, a lot of houses selling up near me.
Oh, yeah.
The one right across the street from me is where Jeep got it rid of. Used to live. They want $449,000.
Oh, yeah, saw that.
Big number.
Yeah, and I remember when they were putting the school in, everybody's like, oh, they're not gonna, everybody's gonna sell their houses, nobody's gonna wanna buy up there.
Heck
I
no.
said, that's not.
Everyone wants to be here.
Everybody wants to be here. Everybody wants to be here. Where's the Conservation Commission?
Oh,
Town hall.
I didn't, they're actually meeting.
Must be in the other room.
Yeah, that's the circuit. Right. Tom, are you all set?
Yep.
Robert, you all set? I'll wait for Alyssa to come back from the start. You all set, Alyssa?
All set. Recording in progress.
If you'd like to call this meeting to order, please. All the able, please stand for the pledge. Mr. Boyle, will you lead us in the pledge?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Brittany, could you do the roll call, please?
Yeah, John Boyle,
Here.
Dan Echo,
Here.
Mark Stroud,
Here.
our town manager, Tom Hutchison,
Here.
and our chair, Robert.
Here. Okay, the minutes from September 9th, 2024 and September 23rd, 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the minutes from September 9th, 2024 and September 23rd, 2024 as presented.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Is there any corrections or any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Public to address the board. This is a time when the public may address the board on any item listed on a meeting agenda or any issue or matter of the town.
Bob, did we have 2 minutes?
Yeah, we did them both.
Oh.
9th and 23rd.
If you intend on
Oh,
addressing the
I'm
board
sorry,
at
I
this
apologize.
if we intend on addressing the board at this time, we ask you to do the following. Please identify yourself by name, address, or the company/institution you represent. The public address to the board or segment will last no longer than 30 minutes. Please make your comments concise and try not to repeat statements made by others. Please address your comments to the board chair. Discussion or debate on any issue may not take place at this time. The chair or the designee may answer questions on procedural matters. Please be cordial and respectful of others. If anyone wishes to be recognized when the board discusses an agenda item, please make that request at this time. The board chair may grant this request, address comments to the board chair, and be concise. We are meeting in person and making this meeting available via Zoom for the convenience of the public. Since we are meeting in person, we will not be responsible for any technical difficulties, so if you'd like to be sure to participating, please attend in person. Anyone want to address the board before we start? Al?
Al Nato, Elaine Allen. I want to address the empty select board seat in a possible cure. I understand there's a petition going around to have a special election to fill that seat. I have a suggestion which is off the wall, sneaky, and probably not legal, so you're going to need a legal opinion on it. I suggest that one of the selectmen consider resigning for the duration of their term. My choice would be Mr. Stroud. He gets reelected come March. They have a special election. You're going to need a lot of things to fall in place. It's going to take time. It's going to cost money.
Absolutely.
Simple resignation allows a 3-member board to pass items without ties. And he can easily be here to discuss the issues, voice his opinions. He just can't vote.
Okay.
And this would save sending out notices for written ballots, or ballots by mail. You're going to have to look for candidates. So this is all gonna be time consuming. You're only looking at maybe 6 months.
Not even that.
Okay, so you can cut this all down by having one member, Mr. Sproul, resign for the duration of his term. He's up for reelection in May anyway. So what's he losing? Not very much. Plus, most of what you're gonna be discussing is budget. He's one guy who really shouldn't be voting on a budget because he's connected to the police department. And I know from past experiences, ethics tells you that's not legal. So I suggest you consider this. Have a legal opinion on whether it's practical and legal, and go from there.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Appointment ratifications. Mr. Hutchinson.
Yes, very pleased that we have not one but two applicants for our open equipment operator positions. The first, Eric Payson, as an on-call equipment operator, going to help us out as we need. This is more like a seasonal winter helper, and I don't know, Bud, if you want to add anything to that.
No, we work with Eric all the time from CRA, I'll do it on the parks, and he offered his services to help out when we have storms or whatever that comes out, he's not working for CRA, so he's gonna help out a lot.
Thank you.
Excellent. Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the appointment of Eric Payson as on-call DPW equipment operator effective October 21st, 2024, pending the outcome of pre-employment physical and drug screen.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Eric, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And for a full-time position, we have James Crane here, also as equipment operator, and also pending the outcome of his pre-employment physical and drug screen.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the appointment of James Crane as DPW equipment operator effective October 21st, 2024, pending outcome of pre-employment physical and drug screen.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? James, do you go by James or Jim?
Jamie.
Okay. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard, Jim.
Okay, Mr. Hutchinson.
I would also like to recommend the appointment of Jenny Gitlitz to the Open Space and Recreation Committee, effective tomorrow through June 30th, 2027. She comes with the recommendation of the new committee, and she's
Sure.
here. So, do you have any questions, or why don't you just say hello to everybody so that people on the TV can see you, if you can wave.
Hello, everyone. I believe I know all four of you gentlemen, and I'm happy to answer any questions. I live in 2 Pomeroy Ave. I've been in Dalton for 22 years. I've served on committees in the past, and I'm looking forward to working on the Open Space Committee.
Okay.
Excellent.
Great.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we appoint Jenny Gitlitz to the Open Space and Recreation Committee effective October 16th, 2024 through June 30th, 2027.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
And finally, Eric Shepherd is not able to be with us.
He's on Zoom.
He's on
Oh, he's
Zoom.
on Zoom. He's behind me. There he is. Hello, Eric Shepherd. He's been recommended by the Cable Advisory Committee as a new member, and they need new members. So if you just want to say hello and who you are there, that would be great.
Hey everyone. So I used to volunteer at the Dalton TV station from 1993 to 95. I ran TV shows, I hosted a TV show, I also volunteered at Pittsfield Station, and now I run a video production company called Silverwood Media, and travel all around the world doing video production. So I think that covers it.
You're well covered, Eric. I know your talents.
Thank you, Robert.
Excellent. Mr. Chairman, I move that we appoint Eric Shepard to the Cable Advisory Committee effective October 16th, 2024 through June 30th, 2025.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, Eric. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Okay.
I will be in touch with the letter.
Next, discussion regarding filling the vacant select board seat. I'll just start off. Tom, do you want to say anything? Because I got some stuff to say, and I'm sure other board members do also.
I'll just note that Heather is here if you have any questions on the process or on her office. She'll also be here for the election warrant item, if you have any questions about that.
Okay. Yes, I do. If we had this election, it can't even begin to be to at least January, correct?
So I think we reached out to town council and he said, he gave us like a 64-day timeline. So that's what we would be working with, and obviously the timing is unusual for a plethora of reasons, so I really wanted to just be here.
Yeah, my reasons for not voting for a special election are the follows. Number one, it's the time of the year. Number two, it doesn't require mail-in voting, which I don't think is fair to everybody in town. Number three, there's a lot of people that leave Dalton to head to Florida if they're not getting flooded out. Number four, it's inclement weather. A lot of people probably won't come out. And I don't see the reasoning to spend that kind of money for a probably about a 3 to 3.5 months appointment when the person, whoever, will have to turn right around and get reelected again. That's just my 2 cents. But.
So just a couple things, if I could address them up.
Yeah.
Mostly the mail-in ballots, and I think we briefly talked about that. So you are correct in assuming that they're not mandatory, but that's up to you guys.
I was going to say,
that's your call. If you think that mail-in ballots are a good idea, because the time of year and older folks that don't typically go out in the winter, you guys get to make that decision, nobody else. So if that's something you felt strongly about, obviously you would call for mail-in ballots, and that would be a thing. It would increase the cost, like we talked about. It's just over, I mean, we're mailing out ballots left and right now. We've sent out over 1,400 in the last week. So these, of course, are paid for by the state because they send us postage paid envelopes. But for a local election, we would foot the bill. It's right around $1 a ballot.
yeah.
Plus or minus.
How much would that be?
It's about $1 to $1.02 per ballot.
So 15, using 1,400 ballots as a base, it would be $1,500 to $2,000.
Well, so.
In addition to the costs that normally are incurred for calling a special election.
Yes and no. So if we based it on the 1,400 ballots that we're sending out for the presidential election, yes. But mail-in ballots are, so it's kind of no excuse voting. Like, you don't have to be out of the country or in hospital or incapacitated. You can just say, I want a mail-in ballot because I want a mail-in ballot.
Right.
And if you guys vote that that's how you want to do it, then everybody that requests one, but they do have to request it. So I couldn't tell you how many folks would request that. Probably quite a few. So from the last 2 years when mail-in voting's really become a big deal, a lot of people, like the last election that we just had in September and the presidential primary that we just had in March. I mean, we've done nothing but have elections this year. Most of our votes are coming from mail-in ballots.
Heather,
Yes.
the mail-in ballots aside, how much would the cost be for the election, special election?
So it would be the staff costs. Typically, we would run an election, a local election from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., which is a few hours shorter than what we're doing now. I guess, Mark, if I had to ballpark it, maybe $1,500.
That includes the ballots itself also, printing the ballots?
I'll get a price for the ballots. So I've never created a ballot with only one race on it, and I guess at this point, we don't know if one person's gonna run or if 5 people are gonna run. But I can certainly get you an estimate if that's something that you're interested in. So we have a company, it's LHS and Associates, the town's used them forever and ever, they're in New Hampshire. They create all of our local ballots for us. So I could reach out to them and get a price.
I think that's an important number to have when the taxpayers have to see how much we're talking about to hold a special election, how much it's gonna cost. To me, that's the biggest, right there is the biggest issue.
It seems like the cost is something that a lot of folks are talking about, Mark. And if I could speak just super quickly to Al's point, because we spoke a little bit today in the office meeting. Well, for starters, I don't know that you planned on resigning, and that certainly was something that I hadn't heard until just now.
Neither did I.
But I'm guessing that that's probably not on your list of things to do.
Right.
I'm just being presumptuous.
He did preface it by saying it was crazy and off the wall. I
It was crazy off the wall.
appreciate that.
Not
I do
legal,
appreciate that.
probably. Right. And I understand your point, saying that we have a 4-person board right now and a tie could happen, so that would obviously bring you back down to an odd number, which is what we always strive for. But to be honest with you, that would only create 2 vacancies on the board. So that is not the answer, in my opinion, with all due respect to what's happening.
Well-
So we don't want to create another vacancy. We have 1 vacancy. I guess the questions started coming into my office last Wednesday, the 9th, and that was the day of the special election, which was a lot of work considering we're up to our ears in presidential election, everything right now. Tom can tell you, it's been a crazy place. Rarely is there 5 minutes that somebody's not in my office. October 19th, we start early voting, and it takes place for 2 weeks straight, including weekends. So it's been super busy. So when the questions started coming in last Wednesday, when everybody started talking about the petition, a couple of you reached out to me and asked about the cost, and I didn't have a chance to work that out. But that's why I'm here. If that's something you want me to work out, I'll work it out. My other point is, because Mass General Law calls for it, if a voter in the town of Dalton collects 200 signatures on a petition, and they're certified, the choice is no longer ours. Again, with all due respect, I know it's not what you want to hear, it's not what I want to say. It's really not, but I just want everybody to be clear on that. Anybody who collects 200 signatures on a petition, that forces your hand to call a special election. Whether it costs us $1,500 or $15,000 for that matter. It's a hard thing to say, but we know it's out there.
Right, well, it'd be on them then to answer to the taxpayers at that point.
Yeah. My question is to them, how many of them were instructed that the select board hasn't even decided this yet?
Yeah, it's important, Bob.
I don't think a lot of these people would have signed that petition knowing up front. I read the petition. It says nothing about the select board having the decision to do this or what it was going to cost or anything. And from what I understand, it's just one person trying to, and I think it's an unfair advantage for the person that gets that, if we had that, for coming up in May also.
Right, well, I mean, I'm guessing that if this person got a special election, others would throw their hat into the race, maybe?
I have no idea. Yeah.
But again, I don't know that there's a choice, and according to our town council, 200 signatures on a petition calls a special election.
When is the,
We're not looking for more work, I can promise you that, but it's a matter of that it's not a choice anymore. I guess that's kind of where I'm going with this.
Yeah, well, you.
That is what it is. If people do that, that's it. That is what it is. We don't even really need to
That's
talk
it.
about it right now, other than to say that it could happen.
Right.
When is the election in May? What's the date?
12.
12.
Yeah, the next select board election, the local election.
May 12th.
I think that is correct. It's the second Monday in May. Dan? I
May
don't
12th.
have- Yes.
Okay.
May 12th.
Yeah, I just want to get confirmation of that.
Yeah, so the first Monday in May is our annual town meeting, and then the second Monday in May is the
Okay,
local election.
so that's the first question. Second is, how long will you be dealing with the presidential, the national election? When will you be done with that and certify those results? When will you be completely done with the national election process?
So I'll check the date, but within a date or two, I believe we have, so we have all of our UOPAVA voters, which are folks that live overseas, whether they're military or they're US citizens living in Italy or Canada or Japan. We have those folks. Believe it or not, they have until like November 15th to get their ballot to us. They're typically electronic ballots. And I think the final certification for the presidential election is November 18th.
Okay,
So those might be 1 or 2 days off, but
all right.
certainly I can send you an email in the morning with those dates.
So conceivably, if we, as a board, were to vote to hold a special election today, we need to give you 64 days to
Right.
hold the
Which you-
election?
Which you wouldn't do because we are not in receipt of a petition with 200 certified voters.
Right.
Well, if we voted, though, to call the special election, let's say we voted tonight to
That
call
would
it.
be your prerogative, yes.
I'm not saying we would, I just
Right.
hypothetically.
Yeah, no, I get
You'd have
it.
64 days to hold an election? I mean, I think it's important to remember, if we were to call this as a board, I wouldn't want to take a vote on this right now. I'd want to wait
Right.
until the presidential election's over and then possibly take a vote on it. The earliest election that could happen, I mean, what are we talking about, January or December?
January, I would say.
Dan, I agree with you.
Beginning of January, okay. Beginning of January, let's say we had an election. The next election's 5 months away.
Not even.
Oh,
So-
four.
Four.
Okay.
And
In any case, my point being, as a board, I don't know that it makes sense for us to even call one, considering the timing
No,
and the cost.
I don't.
Now, if a special election's called by citizens, so be it. We'll have to just take care of that, but,
Right. There is a law in place that prevents, so if a person or a petitioner got the 200 signatures, if it's within, and I'll have to double check this too, I apologize.
100 days of the next.
Yeah, it's within 100 days.
Yeah.
So, but if it's not within the 100 days, the petition goes.
Yeah.
Not Dan.
And if I may, just please also remember that before an election takes place, there is registration that has to happen at least 10 days in advance. And the clerk's office will be busy with the election prior to the date of the election.
Yeah.
And that's a cost too, Dan. After you pay to get people to come in and certify and register people.
Well, not, the special registration day that Tom's talking about doesn't actually cost any money, John, because, so like we just had one last week, and I work in the office on Saturday from 9 to 5, and they don't pay me for that. So that doesn't cost any money. Everything else does, but not that. So, but like Tom said, there are deadlines all along the way. For instance, if you're interested, so we would obviously open this up to other folks. So the last day to obtain nomination papers from our office is 51 days before the special town election. The last day to get the signatures, so you need 20 signatures in order to run for, like you guys know, you've all done it before. Typically, if you're an incumbent, we fill out the sheet for you and we get everybody's name on it. This would be different because everybody would have to get their own signatures. They'd have to be returned 49 days prior to an election. Last day to withdraw is 33 days. Voter registration that Tom's talking about is 10 days prior to. We have to publish the warrant 14 days in advance. So there's deadlines all through the process. We've kind of been in election season, honestly. since last January, getting ready for the March 5th presidential primary. And then we had the local stuff. We just had September special town meeting.
Can people call and take their name off the petition?
That's a question I've never been asked.
Because I think a lot of people
Yeah, are misinformed.
are misinformed here, and if, I'm gonna ask the board to take a vote of not having, be in favor of having a special election.
Bob, can I, wait a minute. Can I get a chance to talk first?
Sure.
Okay. For you, I agree with everything my fellow board members have said. Plus, I have a multitude of issues to bring up, but I'm not gonna bore you right now with them. I'm gonna save them for a later date. There's also major legalities involved in this. And some of them, we're gonna need answers from town council on.
Yeah, well,
And in
John,
particular, I got 2 or 3, but I'm not gonna disclose them at this point in time. And I certainly agree with Bob, and I would say, you know, these people that are circulating this petition, I don't know who they are, but I've heard the rumors too. Right now, we're only acting on rumors. That is not only irresponsible, it is expensive for the town of Dalton to be doing this. And that approximate to an election. In fact, it states right in chapter 41 that the one reason the select board would have for delaying, for not calling a special election is proximity to the annual town election.
yes.
Yeah, but a petition would possibly, I'd say possibly, override that.
It would, because the proximity is
Well,
100 days.
we haven't crossed that bridge yet. We don't know what people are doing. We're already hearing rumors. So I would, at this point in time, like to move that this board take no action on this matter until our first meeting in November.
Second?
Second.
There's no debate or discussion on it, take no action, I believe.
Okay, thanks. Bob, did you want to do something different?
No, that's fine with me.
And the second meeting in November, I didn't give a specific date, the first Monday in November, our regular meeting date would be Veterans Day.
So it'd be Tuesday that week.
Tuesday, if the board sees, we can decide that later on, of course.
Yeah.
And then we'll know more about what's going on, and we can take it up, and we can seek legal counsel.
Okay.
You know, I appreciate Mr. Zesson's input and Heather's input, but I have a lot of questions, and I'm sure the board has a lot of questions about the I won't say legality, but
And
there are issues with this thing, misrepresentation.
I understand all your concerns, and I would encourage you to speak to Mr. Zesson,
Okay.
not me. I'm a newish clerk, as you guys know, and I don't have a dog in the fight, so this is not me against
No,
you
no,
guys.
we appreciate that, Heather.
Nobody asked me to be here tonight. I just wanted to be here if there were
Yep.
questions that I could answer. I feel like somehow this is becoming a meeting, and it's not.
Okay. Did we
Call
go yet?
the vote.
Yes. Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
So I second.
Yeah.
Margaret, second, okay. All right. Is there any further discussion?
Can't have a discussion.
Okay.
It can't
Just call
be
the
dis-
vote.
call the vote.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
All right, so we're going to talk about it first meeting in November.
I think we'll have more information at that
Then we'll have some more.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
the warrant, did you have any questions on the warrant?
Oh, you
I
want
don't
We
to,
can do that right now.
why don't we move that up so we can, yeah.
Would you mind doing that?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome, just because,
Mr. Chairman, I move that we move agenda item 11 up to number 8.
Second.
Okay,
thank you so much.
let's do it.
If you have any questions, again, I can answer them. I can try to answer them.
Is there any contest on it besides the 3rd District state rep thing?
Any contests?
Yeah.
Well, there's the president.
Oh, that's.
Oh, yeah. How can you
I
forget
don't
that?
understand the question, John.
It's in your face all day, all day.
Yeah, I know. There, yes, Elizabeth Warren seat, there's actually quite a few.
Really? Good. That'll
Yeah.
bring people out. That's great.
I think it will bring people out, and in addition, Central Berkshire Regional School District also runs their election. Of course, we do the work for them. So the 7 members are also all on this
I think there's
election.
another page here.
Dalton gets 3 members, and all the other towns, Peru, Hinsdale, Beckett, Windsor, Washington, they all get 1 member. So that is also on this ballot. There are also 6 questions, 5 of which are explained in the little red book that everybody had mailed to their home. And 6 questions is not mentioned in there, but it's not on the question.
You know, I think last year, or last presidential election, we had 3,800 people, which is a tremendous amount of people. And it's gotta be a tremendous, a lot of work for you and Patty. Absolutely.
I can't begin to tell you.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And that's another reason for us to put this in our rear view mirror to let this, other
Okay.
thing.
All right, so, Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve and sign the November 5th election warrant as presented.
Great.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, sign away, gentlemen.
Okay,
Awesome, thank you guys so
We-
much.
you're welcome, thank you, Heather.
Heather, do we have to sign this with a certain kind of pen, like black?
If
She
you have a
included the
pen,
black
yeah,
one.
that would be great, and Alyssa will grab it. It's nothing that needs to be notarized, just wanted to make sure that you had it, and if you had any questions, I
We had
can
it,
we can answer that.
Sure.
I don't know what color that is.
Great, thank you for having me.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
for
Heather.
explaining.
Thanks, Heather.
Take care.
Bob, there's a pen.
Got one right here, John.
Okay.
Yeah, Blackie. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I move that we open as a licensing board.
The
Second.
Okay. Motion been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Mr. Hutchinson?
I would refer to Alyssa, who is managing this process.
This is now the 3rd time this application has been brought to you. This time, it is because in the process of the second approval and the ABCC's approval, the VFW's treasurer had resigned and a new one has come on board. So we had to update the change of officers section with the correct information. So maybe this is it.
And I see that they requested a list of
Yes.
items in order to approve. Okay. And everything has been attached.
I did not include the Cory forms in your packet.
Yeah,
but I did
that's
give them.
understood. Okay. So we have an amended application before us, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, and the new treasurer, all right.
Alicia,
Yes.
I'm gonna, maybe I get this confused. On page 7,
Okay.
all right, it lists, Mr. Cancella as president of the.
That is Jeff Rawson's.
Yeah, I
employment.
thought that changed.
Jeff is still pursuing the manager's position,
Oh,
which the second time we brought it back, he had to explain his past and what had shown.
yeah.
So she didn't say yet that it wasn't okay.
again, on page 7, all these charges and convictions against this, who does this apply to?
Jeff Rawson.
Okay?
And then the next page, it continues. And the last page is the affidavit that was requested from the ABCC investigator.
The Board of Directors of the VFW has made an employment offer to Mr. Rawson.
He has been an employee there, so I think this is just making
The manager.
of record for the alcohol license.
Just to clarify again, he's the commander as of right now.
I don't know if he's
Yeah,
the
that's
commander,
what confused me. I think, he told me he was.
maybe, I don't know. This is to get him to be
Yeah,
manager.
so now, he would, now, there, okay. Man, he's applying to be the manager,
Correct.
but I think he's already the commander.
He's president of the VFW, yes.
He's applying to be the manager for the alcohol license.
All right, that's why I get confused. So he's the commander now, or the president, whatever you want to call it, and he's applying for the paying job of being.
I don't know if the VFW is gonna pay him. This is just gonna make him responsible
Yeah.
for the alcohol.
That's what's in question for us.
His name is gonna be on the license as manager.
Correct.
Which they're
If they approve it.
legally obligated to
Yeah.
provide a manager's name. Okay. Looks like it's in order to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll note, you know, his criminal record is from 30 to 40 years ago, 35 to 40 years ago. If it was maybe more recent, that might be concerning.
I have no problem.
Sounds like a misspent youth.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the revised change of officers application for Anthony J. DeAngelus, post number 9566, VFW.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Then we need to close.
I move that we close as the licensing board.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we need to open as the sewer commissioners.
I move that we open as the sewer commission.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Hutchinson.
We have 3 requests. The first is a request from the residents of 19 Crane Ave. This was a software error. The property was converted to a single unit and it was not updated by our software, and this was verified by an on-site inspection by our assessor.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the sewer abatement for 19 Crane Avenue as presented.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
sorry. This concerns the property at 177 High Street where there was a house fire.
House no longer exists.
Yes,
It tore it down.
and that was not updated and they got a bill.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the sewer abatement for 177 High Street as presented.
Second.
Okay, motion been made and seconded. Is there any further
I'll
discussion?
just note on the agenda, it lists 79 Rose Terrace, which is the current address of the applicants,
Okay,
not the property address.
okay. That makes sense. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
The third one has to do with the 43 River Birch Lane. Again, the residence was changed to be a single unit, and that was not reflected in the software update.
Okay.
They got charged.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the sewer abatement for 43 River Birch Lane as presented.
Second.
And that would be the adjusted amount, the bottom line.
Correct.
Where is River Birch Lane?
Right off
Down
of-
by Bergner Farm,
Gotcha.
the Turkey Farm area.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
I move that we close as the sewer commission.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay. Go to number 10.
Yes, pleased to present a couple of grants from the police department for, the first one is for the municipal road safety program in the amount of $17,395.92. This is something that has come up before. I'm not entirely sure what the specifics of it are, but it provides for, I believe, equipment and the time for officers to patrol the roads and do speed checks.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the municipal road safety grant in the amount of $17,395.92.
Second.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And second, we have the Bulletproof Vest Grant Award, which is self-explanatory. There's a couple of reimbursements that come to us, and this is part of a regular replacement of bulletproof vests.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the bulletproof vest grant in the amount of $4,049.30.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, just one quick question. This grant probably provide for replacing the whole vest or just the plates, bulletproof plates that are inside of it?
I believe these are new complete vests.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, number 12. ARPA update and recessions.
Bob, I don't think we voted on it last
Oh, I
time.
did.
I interrupted
My fault.
you, sorry.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Motion carries. Okay. Number 12.
For an ARPA update and decisions. First, unfortunately, despite the much appreciated attention of the board, having a holiday party for employees is not within the bounds of what public money can pay for. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to request that the board rescind its previous very generous offer to put that money towards an employee party.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I move that we rescind the $3,000 that was allocated to an employee holiday party from the ARPA funds the last meeting.
Second.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
Just note, there's a letter from the town accountant to this effect in the record.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Tom, you're probably gonna tell us anyway. Do we have a balance in the ARPA funds now?
Well, right now, based on the commitments, we have that $3,000.
Yeah.
That did spend down the rest of it. I am trying to get everyone who has any kind of ARPA money to buy what they need as soon as possible so that we can get whatever's left and reallocate that.
Would you recommend, because the end of the year is rapidly approaching, that we authorize spending the $3,000 we just rescinded?
Well, I don't have a project for it yet, but
We'll have one by the next meeting.
I could do that.
Okay.
It might make more sense to see how much we have in total
Yeah.
and pick a project to devote all of that to.
Okay.
So that
Sounds good.
that might be better than just spending piecemeal at this point.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
So we'll wait for updates from you, so a recommendation for action from this board, okay.
And I hope to get all that spending done as quickly as possible. It's not always easy, but I am reminding people who have authorizations to spend them as quickly as possible so that we can lose as little as possible in case things come in under budget at the very end.
All right.
All right, thank you. Okay, number 13, discussion on town hall ADA compliance.
That was an item requested by Mr. Boyle.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Hutchison. Gentlemen, I think it's time the town of Dalton bit the bullet and got the town hall ADA compliant. I discussed this with Mr. Hutchison. Mr. Birch, the town, not custodian, but town property manager, had some excellent suggestions how to remedy the problem of access to the town hall. And talked to Alicia and her committee, and they're fully in support of us. Now is the time to do something of this nature because of the fact that we are going to enter into a construction phase with another section of the town hall, which is going to be fairly costly. And we're going to have to probably borrow money, probably a bond issue. So it would be an excellent opportunity to combine the two projects, not necessarily time-wise, but bond-wise or financing at this point in time. This is all hypothetical and not cast in stone, and I bring it before you with the urging that too many years, decades have gone by, this problem has existed. And, you know, we just had an informal conversation before, and it breaks your heart to see people go over there. They can't get up them steps, and they can't get in, but, you know, their pride, hey, they try, and it's not right. We've got to do this. It's the right thing to do, and now is the time. And I urge you to, I'm not asking to vote or anything like that, but work with the town manager, work with Jeff, work with Alicia, and
that we based our request for ARPA funds on, which
They
included
said
steps
that.
beyond what we're ready to do, including bidding and construction management. So when we sent out our second request for preliminary engineering for the plumbing, we made sure it was just for preliminary engineering. That should leave us some money left over in ARPA for doing other projects. Another reason I wanted to hold off. That's a more substantial amount of money, not a huge amount, but perhaps enough to get something going on ADA compliance.
Sounds good, Tom. At least I think we're, very fact that we're talking about it
Yeah.
is long overdue. Thank you.
And John, I agree, that should be a priority. I think-
Yeah, I think, hey, we're all on board with this. Alicia's on board. She's the ADA coordinator.
I think the other part of this is with the police building committee out there also, so that's another bill we may have out there, but we can combine it all together and get it all done and taken care of and then buttoned up and then be done with it.
Mark, that's a real possibility. These all three, and you know, we could, like the school did. They did a short-term borrowing to get up and running under construction before they actually went out and got a 30 or 40-year bond or whatever it is.
Right.
So, you know, yeah, we can do that. That's a good suggestion. I heard they're moving right along.
They are
Good.
doing well. Maybe we'll ask them to come to the next meeting and give us an update. Okay, all right. Thank you, John, for that. Okay, town manager updates, Mr. Hutchinson.
Thank you. First, some detail for a Walker Brook update. The DPW superintendent and I met regarding next steps. We reviewed footage of the available scoping videos taken as part of the preliminary engineering for a new culvert. We may not have received all the video, but we understand that they're not complete anyway. The scoping company was unable to run their scope past various obstacles. We intend to request a call with a person who did the scoping and find out more about their work. We know that we do not have video of the section running between Glennon and Daly, which is the most problematic part, as it apparently has changes in culvert capacity. In the meantime, we will monitor the water level in the culverts from a number of manholes to see the effects of various amounts of rain, and will continue this monitoring program through the spring thaw. Water flow is intermittent, with the summer months often completely dry. For example, during the last 2 weeks of September, there was no water flowing into the culvert at High Street. So that's where we are with that.
Down, it goes down, just refresh my memory. When it goes down the sewer, or the culvert, goes down First Street.
Well, Field Street and then First Street, then between Glennon and Daly out.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it goes down First Street, crosses Glennon,
Yes,
and goes across, halfway across,
Yeah.
and then goes, does it take a right hand, a 90-degree turn, or is it a sweeping turn?
we don't know because we don't have it scoped.
Okay. There's no archives on it.
I understand that there is some work from the 1980s, which I'm also trying to dig up.
Okay, thanks.
Let me see, I may have that study.
Yeah,
If it takes like a 90-degree turn there, that's probably a big part of the problem.
The biggest problem is it goes from a 3 foot to 4 foot, back to 3 foot. It's like everybody cobbed into it
Yeah,
before all the regulations came in.
They did.
moving on. I'm pleased to say that the sewer system rehabilitation project, based on the inflow and infiltration study, has finally been closed out. Giving you an indication of how long it can take to close out a project. Haven't mentioned that one for quite a while. The Barton property, speaking of old projects, has been surveyed by the state and we are getting ready to close, I hope in the next month or 6 weeks.
Tom, on that, it's my understanding that the town of Dalton has been forwarded the results of the survey.
Yes.
Is it available for the board or board members to view it?
Sure. You can come by, I can mail it out if everyone's interested.
Well, it's probably big, right?
We have it in electronic form.
I'll stop by and look at it someday.
Sure.
Thanks.
I'm still waiting for signed acceptances of the takings on Orchard Road and Housatonic Street. I've been working with the city of Pittsfield on an intermunicipal agreement to have staff at their Veteran Service Office act as Dalton's Veteran Services agent. It's currently being reviewed by town council. This is actually late. It was reviewed by town council, and I have signed it, and we will have Veteran Services January 1st.
Is our guy gone right now? Mr. Keel?
He is with us until the end of December.
Because, and this is again, only a rumor thing, but 2 or 3 veterans have approached me and said, we've gone down to the senior center on Wednesdays between 9 and 12, and he hasn't been there. And this goes back like over 2 months. And Kelly, I talked to Kelly Pitt, he says he hasn't been around. They heard that he left. So there has been no one there to service our veterans for, say, the last 2 months.
I'm sorry, this is the first I've heard about it.
No, I didn't want to bring it up, but because everybody, one time I asked, listen, what time is that guy supposed to be there? And so I went down there one day myself, and he wasn't there. I called his office in North Adams, and I says, does he plan on being in Dalton next Wednesday? This was last week. She says, I don't know, he's out of town, he won't be back till Thursday. I guess that answers my question, so, yeah. So, what are you proposing now? I'm sorry, it wasn't asking that close.
We're going to be joining the city of Pittsfield with an intermunicipal agreement to have their staff function as our Veteran Services Officer. For the first 6 months, they'll just be able to be here once a month, but they will accept any Dalton resident going to their Pittsfield office. Then we'll come up with a new agreement as of July 1st going forward, where they expect they will be able to be here on a monthly basis.
Yeah, I think it'd be the best way forward, because there's a lot of problems with this. Blame anything, I think it's Mr. Keel, but maybe there's miscommunications, but it's been an issue.
Thank you. The line painting at Pine Grove Park has been postponed based on the recommendation of the contractor, who feels that waiting until spring will allow the proper curing of the paint so it will last as long as it should. I've sent out requests for quotes for the employee handbook and policies revisions. Quotes are due October 30th. I've also rebid the request for proposals for the garage roof. We did not get any bids the last time we sent it out, and are doing a better job of sending it around to a number of specific companies this time. I am preparing to bid for a second 3-year assessing services contract. We are planning to take back some of the work in-house for fiscal year 26, with the goal of having complete in-house capabilities after that 3-year contract ends. And I have, finally, I've drafted the stormwater engineering quotes as required for our MS4 permit under the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit, and we'll get that out soon. So that's my update for now.
Okay, any questions for Tom?
May I ask
Tom?
a question?
Sure.
Tom Ballardini, 400 North Street. You had mentioned the Barton property having a closing by the end of the month.
Or 6 weeks, I was hoping.
What is your information on that? Because we have not heard from your
Oh.
town council on anything.
The survey, the state completed the survey, and we reviewed it and had no issues with it.
Okay.
So that should be, I think that's pretty close to the final checkbox, isn't it?
Well, no, your town council has to, I believe, rewrite the deed so that according to what the survey is, get a hold of us so that we can have a closing between.
Oh, okay.
the town.
Okay, happy to check into that.
All set, Tom?
And as we're discussing this, I guess, there's that other parcel of land,
Oh, the 10 acres there?
the 9-acre parcel. I was wondering what the town's plans are with that. I know they're planning to put a park up there originally, but the park committee hasn't met in over a year. And I believe once the town sells the land to my wife and I, you kind of lose your access to the property. You have a right-of-way, but you don't have any means of building a road access into it. So I'm wondering, would the town be willing to incorporate that 9-acre parcel with the sale of the rest of the Barding property? And if so, what is the process in order to do that?
Good question.
Well, we probably more than likely have to put it out to bid. I'm
Yeah.
just guessing.
Yeah.
Bob, would you put that on the agenda, Mr.
I would be honest with you, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole right now until you get your closing on the other piece of
Yeah.
property. Because they may confuse everything and bring everything, I would close on the Barton property itself.
Okay.
And then I would have, the board can discuss that and move forward with that piece of property.
Okay.
Because you don't want to delay that by anything.
No.
Get that done as quick as
Muck it up
possible.
pretty good.
Yeah.
This has been strung along for years now,
Yeah.
and then I would go forward.
Good advice, Mark.
Okay.
Looking out for you on that, definitely, in the town. Let's get that piece taken care of, then we'll.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, future agenda items.
Bob, I would, not necessarily the next meeting, which is the 28th, possibly the first one in March, but I'd like to see you schedule an executive session so that we might assess or review, trying to phrase this, the lawsuits that are now pending against the town.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, it's my understanding that the Marley one has never been settled either.
No, it's still active.
Yeah. And you think to see where we are, and if we have any questions, like you suggested, we give them the time in advance so we can ask the lawyer, because a lot of them. All right.
You said March, though, you mean November?
Yes, did I say March? Wow.
Alyssa, can you get that on for November?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, we'll get a hold of Attorney Zesson, maybe he can phone in
Yeah.
and get his opinion.
Yeah.
I don't wanna make the guy drive all the way up here from Boston.
Yeah, so, Alyssa, before you schedule it, well, make sure Mr. Zesson's available that evening.
Actually, it'd be the town's insurance attorneys we want there.
Yeah, that too.
That's who we want.
Yeah, because they're not actually, somebody else is handling it. So
Yeah, oh yeah, for the insurance company, yeah.
We'll get the appropriate parties.
Okay.
Okay.
I still would like Tim's opinion too, because he kind of like guides us.
One of the things I'm interested in, I don't know if I should say this out loud, but how much coverage is there in our policies? I mean, we're looking at a lot of legal activity here. Do we have enough coverage?
We'll see what the insurance company
Yeah.
says, okay?
Sometimes you just look at it and don't say anything. The policies, right?
I can tell you what we're covered for. I can't tell you what any, I can't predict the future.
No, but you can tell us what the policy will pay out. If the policy pays the whole judgment or settlement, or is it something that would be subject to they only pay out a certain amount in a year or in a lifetime on the policy? In other words,
Stop, yeah.
what's the policy?
You can write me or stop in
Yeah,
anytime.
all right.
Yeah.
Happy to.
Yeah, we'll discuss that at the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, I don't like discussing.
Okay? Okay, anything else? Okay. Announcements. I gotta take these things off. Want to know more about what's happening in Dalton? Sign up for the monthly newsletter. Did we get a name for that yet?
I believe it was just released, yeah, or it's gonna be. Maybe if
Okay.
everybody knows about it, maybe it hasn't been. I'm not gonna say anything, I don't know.
Okay, please visit the town website for more information. Trick or Treat in Dalton will be held Thursday, October 31st from 5:30 to 7. The Dalton Police Department is reminding citizens the Dalton Winter Parking Ban, which goes into effect November 15th, 2024, will be in effect to April 15th, 2025, between the hours of 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. During this time, there will be no parking allowed on the streets. Central Berkshire Habitat for Humanity is pleased to announce that 16 Gulf Road is now ready for sale by Fair House Lottery. Please visit the town website for more details. Annual car permits, bag stickers, recycling-only car permits are available for purchase at the transfer station and on the town's website. There are numerous committees and boards with vacancies. Please see the town website for more information or reach out to the town manager's office. The Dalton Housing Authority has one vacancy on their board. It must be a Dalton resident. Please contact Sue Gregory at 684-2493 for more information. Is your electricity bill too high? The town is contracted with Colonial Power to provide an electricity plan for the town residents that take advantage of joining with other communities to have a larger customer base for negotiations. This has resulted in prices lower than current Eversource prices. For more detail to opt out or in, visit the town websites or call the town manager's office. The town of Dalton currently has 2 job opportunities, a COB van driver and a assessors clerk. Please visit the town website or contact the town manager's office at 413-684-6111, extension 202 for more information. Our next meeting for the Select Board is scheduled to take place on Monday, October 28, 2024, at 7 p.m. at the Senior Center with an option for remote participation. And with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good night, Dalton.